Hello and good morning, friends. There comes a time in every person's life when the noise fades, the crowd disappears, and you find yourself walking alone. No cheerleaders, no applause, no reassuring voices to say, "You can do it, just you." And the echo of your own heartbeat, reminding you that your dreams still matter. And it's in that silence that you truly meet yourself. Because achieving your goals alone is not a punishment. It's a privilege. It's the universe's way of saying, this journey is meant to make you discover your strength. When you start walking toward your dreams, don't expect everyone to understand. Not everyone will see what you see. Some will doubt you, others will walk away, and many will only return once you've made it. But that's okay, because greatness was never meant to be built in company. It is shaped in solitude, tested in silence, and revealed in time. You see, when you walk alone, you stop depending on motivation, and you start depending on discipline. You stop waiting for someone to believe in you, and you start believing in yourself. You stop searching for external validation, because you begin to understand that the only approval you truly need is your own. There will be days when you question yourself, when you'll want to give up, when loneliness will sit next to you like a heavy shadow. But remember, loneliness is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It teaches you resilience, focus, and self-trust. It teaches you that the most powerful kind of strength is the kind you build in silence. When no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when it's just you against the doubt inside your mind. When you achieve your goals alone, you realize that success is not about the destination. It's about who you became along the way. You learn that self-discipline is more valuable than support. You learn that self-belief is louder than praise. And you learn that even if no one walks beside you, you can still finish the race. Because the power has always been within you. Don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect people, or the perfect circumstances. Start where you are. Use what you have. And believe that you are enough, because you are. You may stumble. You may fall. You may cry on the way. But every step you take alone will make you unshakable. Every obstacle will polish your spirit like a diamond being shaped under pressure. And one day, when you look back, you won't remember who wasn't there. You'll remember that you kept going, even when you had every reason to stop. You'll realize that you became your own hero, your own source of light, your own reason to rise. So if you're walking alone right now, don't be afraid. This is where strength is born. This is where dreams begin to breathe. And this is where you become unstoppable. Because sometimes, walking alone isn't loneliness. It's preparation for the kind of success that only self-belief can build. Solitude is not a weakness. It's a beginning. There comes a moment in life when you look around and realize it's just you. No one clapping for your progress. No one cheering you on. No one standing beside you as you take the next step. And in that silence, it's easy to believe you're lost. It's easy to think, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I can't do this alone. But solitude isn't a weakness. It's not a punishment. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. The beginning of your awakening. When life strips away distractions. When the crowd disappears and when the noise fades, that's when you finally begin to hear your own voice. It's faint at first, almost like a whisper. But as you listen, it grows stronger, clearer, steadier. That voice, your inner voice, is the compass that will guide you when the world goes silent. We are often taught to associate strength with togetherness. We're told that success is a team effort, that we need constant support, that we're only strong when surrounded by others. But the truth is, there are seasons in your life where you must walk alone. Not because no one cares, but because your path requires solitude. It's in solitude that you discover who you truly are when no one is watching. You begin to understand what drives you, what drains you, and what defines you. You learn to trust your instincts, to build courage without validation, and to grow without comparison. When you sit alone with your thoughts, something beautiful happens. You start meeting parts of yourself you've ignored for too long. The dreamer, the fighter, the believer. The quiet power that never needed approval to exist. Solitude is not about isolation. It's about connection. Connection with your own soul. It's where clarity blooms. It's where vision becomes sharper. It's where strength is born from stillness. And yes, it's uncomfortable at first. Being alone means facing your fears, your self-doubt, your insecurities, your past. But those moments of discomfort are not there to break you. They are there to build you. They shape your resilience. They polish your patience. They prepare you for the life you're meant to live. When you learn to stand tall in solitude, the world cannot shake you. Because once you've found peace in your own company, you'll never feel truly alone again. You stop chasing people to fill your emptiness. You stop begging for attention to feel seen. You stop doubting your worth just because others don't recognize it. Solitude teaches you that your value doesn't depend on who stands beside you. It depends on who you are when you stand alone. So, if you find yourself in a season where you walk alone, don't see it as a setback. See it as your sacred space of becoming. Because solitude is not silence. It's transformation. It's where your power wakes up, where your faith strengthens, and where your dreams start to breathe again. Remember, a seed doesn't bloom in the spotlight. It grows in the dark, quietly, patiently, faithfully. And when the time is right, it breaks through the soil, not because someone told it to, but because it was born to rise. So, walk alone, not with fear, but with purpose. Because solitude is not where your journey ends, it's where your true journey begins. Not everyone will understand your journey. When you begin walking toward your dreams, you imagine the world will cheer for you. You think your friends will celebrate your courage, your family will support your choices, and people will see the fire in your heart. But soon you realize, not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Your dream was planted in your heart, not theirs. Your vision was whispered to your soul, not to the world. Not everyone can see what you see, because not everyone was meant to. There will be moments when people you love question your path. They will say, "Why are you wasting your time?" They will tell you to choose the safer road, the easier path, the one that everyone else takes. And sometimes their words will hurt because they won't come from strangers. They'll come from the very people you thought would always believe in you. But here's the truth, they're not wrong. They just don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't carry the same purpose burning quietly inside you. Your journey is sacred. It's between you and the one who gave you that dream. And sometimes it's meant to be misunderstood because the deepest callings are rarely recognized by the crowd. The world celebrates success, but it doesn't always understand the struggle behind it. People see the results, but they don't see the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the doubts you fought silently. So don't expect everyone to applaud your process. Not everyone will. And that's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's proof that you're on your own path. You must learn to walk even when no one believes in your destination. You must learn to trust your steps, even when others say you're lost. Because sometimes faith looks like moving forward alone. Not because you're certain, but because you refuse to give up. When you stop seeking understanding from everyone else, you start finding peace within yourself. You no longer need permission to chase your dreams. You no longer explain your purpose to people who were never meant to walk beside you. And in that moment, you step into freedom, the freedom of walking in alignment with your truth. Remember, people cannot always understand what they have never experienced. They've never felt the fire of your passion. They cannot understand your urgency. If they've never carried your pain, they cannot measure your strength. And if they've never heard your calling, they cannot comprehend your direction. So don't take their doubt personally. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's life teaching you to trust your own voice above all others. The truth is, the fewer people who understand your journey, the stronger you become. Because when the noise fades, your inner voice becomes louder. And that voice, steady, gentle, powerful, will always guide you home. So walk your path with grace. Don't resent those who can't see what you see. Just keep moving with faith, with purpose, with quiet confidence. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will look at your life and say, I never understood what you were doing back then, but now I see you were building something beautiful. Discipline is stronger than motivation. We all love the feeling of motivation. That rush of energy when we hear an inspiring quote, when someone tells us we can do it, when we picture the life we want. Motivation feels like sunlight, warm, uplifting, full of promise. But what happens when the sun sets? What happens when the excitement fades and you wake up one day with no strength, no inspiration, no one cheering you on? That is when discipline becomes your greatest ally. You see, motivation may start the journey, but discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Motivation whispers, you can do it. Discipline answers, I will, even when I don't feel like it. It's easy to show up on days when you're excited. It's easy to chase your goals when everything is going right. But true strength is built on the days when you don't want to try. When your heart is tired, when progress feels invisible, when no one notices your effort. Discipline is that quiet decision you make every morning. I will still do it. Not because it's easy, but because it matters. It's brushing off excuses and showing up anyway. It's sitting at your desk when creativity refuses to come. It's getting up early even when your body begs you to sleep in. It's keeping your promises to yourself, because your future depends on the consistency you build today. The truth is, motivation is emotional. It's fleeting. But discipline is loyal. It doesn't rely on your feelings, it relies on your commitment. When you learn to be disciplined, you no longer wait to feel ready. You start understanding that every small step, every moment of effort, builds a foundation for the life you want. You realize that the habits you create when no one is watching are the ones that define your success. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not loud or exciting. It doesn't always give instant results, but it transforms you quietly, patiently, powerfully. You become more focused, more resilient, more trustworthy, not to others, but to yourself. And that's the most important kind of trust there is. Because when you trust yourself to show up, no matter how you feel, you become unstoppable. You no longer depend on motivation to start, you depend on discipline to finish. Remember, consistency beats intensity. One step every day will take you further than 100 steps taken once in a while. Success doesn't come from rare bursts of inspiration. It comes from steady persistence. So, when motivation fades, and it will, don't panic. Take a breath. Remind yourself why you started. And then take the next step, even if it's small. Because every disciplined act is a brick in the foundation of your dreams. And one day, you'll look back and realize you didn't build your success on feelings. You built it on faithfulness. Discipline isn't just what helps you achieve your goals. It's what transforms you into the kind of person who never gives up, even when no one is watching. Loneliness is a powerful teacher. There's a kind of silence that feels heavy, the kind that echoes louder than noise. It comes when you realize that you're walking a path that no one else seems to understand. You wake up one day and it's just you, your thoughts, your doubts, your dreams, and your fears. And in that moment, loneliness wraps itself around you like an old friend you never wanted to meet. But here's the truth: most people don't tell you loneliness isn't a curse. It's a classroom. And if you let it, it will teach you the most powerful lessons of your life. When you are alone, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. You start to recognize the difference between the voice of fear and the whisper of your intuition. You begin to understand what truly matters to you, not what the world says should matter. You learn to be your own source of comfort, your own cheerleader, your own safe place. Loneliness teaches you to stop depending on people for your peace. It teaches you to stop expecting others to heal what only you can face. Because sometimes life will strip away every distraction just so you can meet the strongest version of yourself. And yes, it hurts. It hurts when the phone stops ringing. It hurts when people you love become distant. It hurts when you realize you've been walking alone for longer than you thought you could. But that pain has a purpose. It's preparing you for the next chapter of your strength. You see, being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Being alone means you are with yourself. Being lonely means you don't yet recognize your own company as enough. Once you start to value your own presence, loneliness transforms into solitude, and solitude becomes your power. It's in solitude that creativity blooms. It's where healing begins. It's where confidence grows quietly, without needing applause. Because when you learn to love your own company, you become unstoppable, not because you don't need anyone, but because you finally understand that you already have everything you need within you. Loneliness teaches gratitude. It reminds you of the people who stayed, but it also helps you release those who were never meant to go further with you. It gives you space to breathe, to reflect, to rebuild your relationship with yourself. The strongest souls are not the ones who never felt lonely. They are the ones who turned loneliness into wisdom, who transformed their silence into strength, who found peace in their own presence. So if you're walking alone right now, don't rush through it. Don't numb it. Sit with it. Let it teach you. Because one day you'll look back at this season and realize loneliness didn't break you. It built you. It made you resilient. It made you self-reliant. And most of all, it made you understand that you are enough. Because sometimes you have to lose everyone else to finally find yourself. You are enough. Even without support, there will be times in life when you look around and realize no one is standing beside you. No one is clapping when you make progress. No one is there to say, I believe in you. And that silence can feel like 1,000 walls closing in. It's in those moments that doubt creeps in and whispers, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I can't do this alone. But let me tell you something powerful. You are enough even without support. You always have been. You see, the strength that brought you this far didn't come from the people who left. It came from the fire within you. The courage that carried you didn't come from their approval. It came from your own determination to rise. You were built for independence, not because you don't need love, but because your purpose requires resilience. Sometimes, life isolates you not to punish you, but to show you that you can stand without a crowd. Because the truth is, you don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need you. You may not realize it, but every time you got back up after falling, every time you smiled through pain, every time you fought battles no one knew about, you were proving your strength to yourself. You were building a foundation made of courage, not comfort. The world often teaches us to seek validation, to look for signs, support, or applause. But when you walk alone long enough, you begin to see that real validation doesn't come from others. It comes from knowing that you're doing your best, even when no one sees you trying. You don't need anyone's permission to grow. You don't need anyone's approval to begin. You don't need a hand to hold before you take a step, because your worth doesn't depend on who walks beside you. It lives inside you. And yes, there will be days when you feel small, when your own strength feels invisible. That's okay. You don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to remember that even in your weakest moments, you are still capable. You are enough when you fail, because failure means you tried. You are enough when you cry, because tears mean you cared. You are enough when you start again, because resilience is proof of courage. The people who are meant to walk with you will find their way back, but until they do, walk proudly alone. You don't need a crowd to confirm your worth. Your heartbeat is proof that you have a purpose. When you finally stop seeking external support, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing validation and start creating value. You begin to act not out of fear, but out of faith. You stop asking, will they believe in me? And start declaring, I believe in myself. And that belief, that unshakable self-trust, becomes your greatest power. Because support is beautiful, but self-belief is unbreakable. People may walk in and out of your life, applause may fade, but your strength remains. You are enough in your flaws, in your growth, in your becoming. So stand tall even if no one stands beside you. Speak your truth even if no one listens. Keep going even if no one claps. Because one day when you look back, you'll realize you didn't just survive without support. You thrived because you finally learned that everything you needed was already within you. Success is who you become along the way. We grow up believing that success is something we achieve. A destination, a dream fulfilled, a goal finally checked off. We're taught that success means trophies, titles, applause, or recognition. But as you walk through life, through struggle, through loneliness, through growth, you begin to understand something deeper. Success isn't just what you reach, it's who you become along the way. Every challenge you face is shaping you. Every setback is refining you. Every delay, every disappointment, every no is carving a strength inside you that no one can take away. Because real success doesn't begin the day you achieve something great. It begins the day you decide not to give up. It's easy to celebrate results, but it takes wisdom to celebrate growth. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you are not who you used to be either. And that, my friend, is progress. We often chase goals so hard that we forget the real reward is transformation. It's not the dream house or the perfect job or the recognition that changes you. It's the journey that molds you into someone strong enough to handle it. Because if you reach the top but lose your peace, your compassion, your authenticity, that's not success. That's emptiness disguised as achievement. True success is quiet. It's waking up with purpose. It's knowing you did your best, even when no one noticed. It's keeping your integrity intact, even when compromise would have been easier. It's finding joy not in what you have, but in who you've become. The journey toward your dreams is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be transformative. The long nights, the self-doubt, the loneliness, the small wins that no one else sees, they are all shaping your character. They're teaching you patience, humility, empathy, and endurance. Because success isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than the person you were yesterday. And sometimes, success isn't loud at all. It's the silent kind. The peace that comes after a storm, the calm that settles after chaos, the smile that says, I made it through. It's the ability to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of who I've become. You see, goals can change, dreams can evolve, but who you are, your spirit, your kindness, your resilience, that's what truly defines your success. So don't rush the process. Don't be discouraged if your journey looks different from others. You are not behind, you are becoming. And one day, when you finally reach that mountaintop you've been climbing toward, you'll realize that the real victory wasn't reaching the summit. It was discovering your wings on the way up. Because success was never about arriving. It was about evolving with grace, with courage, with faith. So celebrate your growth, honor your scars, and embrace your journey. Because every step, every stumble, every lesson, it all led you here. And who you've become along the way, that's your greatest success story. My dear listeners, if there's one truth I want you to take from this message today, it's this. You are capable of walking alone. You are capable of carrying dreams that no one else understands. You are capable of turning silence into strength and solitude into power. Because achieving your goals alone is not about isolation. It's about realization. It's about realizing that the world may not always clap for you, but that doesn't mean you stop dancing. It's about understanding that even when no one believes in you, your faith in yourself is enough to move mountains. There will be nights when you cry quietly, mornings when you question your worth, and moments when you wonder if it's even worth continuing. But remember, every storm you've survived has already proven your strength. You've walked through fire before, and you came out shining. This time will be no different. When no one stands beside you, stand with yourself. When no one believes in you, believe louder. And when the world goes silent, listen to the rhythm of your own heartbeat. It's whispering, keep going. You don't need a crowd to rise. You don't need approval to begin. You just need courage, the quiet kind, the kind that grows in the dark and blooms when no one is watching. One day you'll look back and realize it wasn't the help you didn't get, the people who didn't show up, or the doors that didn't open that defined you. It was you, it was your persistence, your discipline, your faith, your refusal to give up when everything inside you said, stop. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. And even when you walk alone, you are never truly alone because your purpose walks with you. So rise even when it hurts. Try even when it's hard. And believe even when you can't see the path ahead. Because this journey, this lonely, beautiful, soul-shaping journey, isn't just about achieving your goals. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs the world's approval to keep moving forward. You are your own light. You are your own support. You are your own miracle. So go ahead, walk alone if you must, but know this, you're not walking empty. You're walking with purpose. And that, my friend, is how you achieve your goals, one brave step at a time.